Thunder! 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 Thundercats! Ho!
Wow, you did it! A Thundertank!
Hello, Bots and Books fans, this is Scorp1701, and tonight we are going to be taking a look at the much anticipated Super 7 Ultimates Thundercats Thundertank. Yes, and this has been 3 years in the making, and it's finally here with us tonight. And forgive me for turning this manually. It is so big, so large that my turntable cannot support its weight, but we are able to freely spin it with a little bit of help from my fingers. So, yes, 3 years. Now, some of you will say, Scorp, it hasn't been 3 years. Well, technically, that is true. We first ordered this thing in March of 2021, and then 2 years, almost to the day, it arrived on our doorsteps. However, I must say that Super 7's Brian Flynn did hint that we would be getting a Thundertank about a year before they revealed it. So I feel vindicated that we have been waiting on this thing for 3 years. Actually, some of us have been waiting on this since the 80s, and I think that is true enough. So, without further ado, let's get into this thing, and first off, let's take a look at the packaging. Now, if you saw my unboxing video, you saw the packaging that this awesome Thundertank came in, and this is it. It is very reminiscent of how it would look if it came out in the 80s with some awesome artwork, some logos, and what the vehicle does. So, taking a closer look up here at the top left-hand corner, you have Super 7, Jackalman, Mumra, Slythe. Moving across, you have an awesome Thundercats logo and Thundertank. Moving down to the tank itself with Lion-O, Panthro, Pumira, Shitara, and Tigra all in the back. Wow, that is so cool. Moving down, you have ages 14 plus adult collectibles. And moving to the bottom left, you have featuring, you have swiveling turret, working tank treads, opening cargo bay doors, 2 different windshields, Thundrillium storage, seating for 6 Thundercats, front-mounted laser cannon, giant claws with hidden weapons, scale to fit Super 7 Ultimate figures, and Ultimates. Whew, that was a mouthful, and that is the awesomeness of the front of the box. Turning it to the side, you have another huge Thundercats logo. You have glow-in-the-dark eyes. You have a picture of the much-debated Camouflage. You have a look at the tank in action and ready for attack. Super 7. That is so cool. And on the top of the box, you have Thundercats, Thundertank, Lion-O's powerful transforming battle tank. Well, it's technically Panthros, but anyway, we have cargo space. We have authentic tank controls. We have the pop-up laser blaster. And then we have what it looks like in battle mode, but we'll take a closer look at that later. Now, the other sides of the box are the same, except when you come to the bottom of the box, then you get Thundercats logo again and some credits for the box. If anyone is interested, there's a barcode. But that is the Thundertank box. But no one wants to see the box. I know I don't. So let's get to the tank and see what it can do. And here we have the Thundertank out of the box. And out of the box, it comes with the canopy on it, all armored up. And it looks very, very cool. There is a lot of awesome detail in this beast of a tank. It is so cool. Wow, look at this thing. All right, so starting at the front of the Thundertank, taking from side here to side here, you have a measurement of 15.5 inches. Wow, that is so wide. That is cool. You have the claws here and you got more claws underneath. Wow, that is neat. Come in and look at the mouth. You have these sharp teeth. That is so cool. Some designs here. And you have the light up eyes here. Now, I say light up, but they are actually just glow in the dark. We'll take a look at that later. This is where the cannon will come out. Wow, same thing over here. Now, coming to the side of the Thundertank. Coming over here. Sorry, it's going in and out of focus. I'm moving the camera around a lot because this thing is just so big. So, from the side, from the tip of the paw here, all the way back down to the back of the tread here, you have 25.5 inches wide. That is so massive. Now the back is going to be different. So the back measurements are going to be 18 inches from this tread to this tread. It is a little wider in the back because the tread spaces out. And then it is approximately 8.5 inches from the bottom to the top. So this is a big, huge, massive tank, and it is so nice and so cool. Coming up, let's go up to the top, look and see how it looks up here. Nice molded detail here for the top of the canopy. Coming back, you have this awesome Thundercat symbol on the back of the cargo hold, and that is so cool, so cool. The bottom of the tank, this is going to be kind of cumbersome, but we'll try to get it moved over. Lifting it up, put it on the side. This is what the bottom of the tank looks like. You can see the red. You can see that there are 7 independent wheels that make this thing go. You have 2 built into the red claws. You have 2 smaller ones here in the front. You have 1 long, wide one here, and then you have the 2 tank treads. Now the tank treads do work, but they are very stiff to begin with. As you can see, it will move the tank and go forward. The best though, if you go backwards, you can see the tank treads actually move on their own. So that is pretty neat. So the treads do work, and it does get this thing moving, but there you go. See, it's gonna take some time to work it in and find your surface that will let the Thundertank roll on. But really, I don't think you're going to use this much as in the play feature as much as you're just going to be as a big display piece. But anyway, yes, it does roll and it's very movable. Now, one of the first aesthetic changes you can make to the Thundertank is removing the canopy that's already installed. So basically, when you move this around, it is just laying on there in the little pegs and ports. So it will come straight up from the tank like such. And that will reveal the inside of the driver's seat end section. So that is really cool. Let's zoom around. Check this out. Wow. You can see the 2 seats, and you see that there are some nice levers and dials in the middle console for some more levers. And if we can go around to the actual consoles, look in there really nicely. Wow, I love those panels and screens and a lot of cool buttons, and you have the white steering thing. I'm not exactly sure how this tank actually drives, but I know Panther would always turn things and knobs and all sorts of levers and stuff going around to the passenger side. Nice details over here, some more control panels, some more levers coming to the seat. Wow, that is neat. Coming down to the pilot seat, which is on the right, and then you have some consoles and buttons and dials on his side as well. So that is really neat. I love the way they designed the inside of this seating area. That is so cool. All right, we're going to zoom back out just a little bit So you can mostly have it like this, and I think a lot of people will display their Thundertank without a canopy because it's nice, and for the most part they drove it with no canopy at all. However, if you are so inclined, the Thundertank does come with a clear canopy that will fit right on top here, and you'll just line up the pegs with the holes and it will just fall into place. And this is nice if you don't like to get dust in there or you want to try to go underwater, which is what Panther designed the clear one for. Of course, it didn't work out much for him because once he tried it, they kind of got the Thundertank stuck on its back, so it's okay. So that is the clear canopy. It does a really good job. You get a little bit of reflective light when you're trying to photograph it though, so it's okay. Alright, so that is your canopy. You can use whichever one you're inclined, and again, I prefer not actually to have either canopy and just have it open like such. Okay, now moving to the back of the tank, to the passenger compartment. It will open up. If you pull this from the middle, you will have one side open up from the middle of the Thundercat symbol, and then wow, look at this. You have some awesome detail right down there in the back compartment. Nice screens and monitors and all sorts of buttons, and it is really cool. And we can go and we can see the seats. There are 4 awesome seats back here, four awesome Thundercats to sit in, and each of the seats have some little details on them, and you can see that they each have like an armrest and a panels and line work. That is really cool right there. And then coming to the other side of the compartment, you do have some more screens and readouts on that side. So that is cool. Another Thundercat symbol. Some more diagrams. I love it. I love it. Okay. And that will bring us to this nice centerpiece. And that is the 3-barreled laser cannon. Now, Brian Flynn initially said 2 years ago in some interviews that this would be able to be removed from the back compartment of the Thundertank, but I have tried to move this thing. I don't think it goes anywhere, and I think they decided to make it stationary. Now, what you can do with this is it is rotatable 360 degrees, and when you turn it around, you do have some awesome details on the back here. You got some nice claw detail up here. And then you have a screen here and some more panels and dials, and you have these handles for the cannon, and they are movable. They go up and down, left and right, so that is cool. And what you'll do with this is pull it up and it will rise up, so you can have whoever is standing here move it around, and it is rotatable 360 degrees. And if you look on the base, you do have foot pegs, so you can plant whichever Thundercat that you want in the back there. So that is really awesome, and that is the back, and that is the Thundertank all opened up. So let's see what else this thing can do from the front. So at the front, there are a lot of interesting points of articulation, starting with the cannon that will pop up from right here. So you'll take this, pull it up, and there you have a red cannon attached to the bottom of that panel. I will add a little bit of artificial light, and you can see it's nicely done. A lot of detail in there. It doesn't move and it doesn't extend or anything. You just got it sticking out there. You could have put a little effect on the end to make it look like a laser blast, but if you have something that will fit in there, it does look like it's got a peg, so that is cool. That's something you guys might want to try. But that is just the first part of the front that opens up. Now coming down, the mouth itself is articulable. The jaw section of the top jaw can go up and down like that. That is cool. So let's bring this up a little bit and then extend the mouth all wide. So that is really nice. You can get a lot of stuff in here. If you were so inclined, if you want to put a bad guy in there, I'm sure you could put a bad guy in there and he could get chomped, or if there's some sort of obstruction in the way, this can make short work of that. So that's cool. And with that open, there's also something that you could do with these paws. They are articulable all the way. You have some good rotation with this. They can actually go all the way up. If you have the back open, they can go 90 degrees. If you have the back section closed, they can go past 90 degrees. So you can get kind of like a cat swat. Yeah, like that. So that is really cool. But if you don't want to go all the way up with them, you can kind of bring that down and just bring the paw section up and reveal this small red part. And this has a hidden laser cannon as well, and this is really nice. This is on a hinge and it can move up and down, and it is just really neat. And the other paw is the same. It goes all the way up if you want to claw up out of a cave, or it can go halfway up and reveal the hidden gun in there as well. So that is really cool. So here is the Thundertank all open with the claws up, the mouth up, the guns up. Oh, well, let's pick that back up and then let's bring the cannon. So, yowza, this thing is armed to the teeth, literally. So let's take a look, rotate it around a little bit. Wow, I love the way this thing looks. This is so cool. Get it around, get it around, get it around, get it around now. Yee. So yeah, very nice. And that is what the Thundertank looks like. All right, let's get this thing passengered up. All right, we'll start with Panthro, and obviously this is Panthro's tank, so Panthro is going to be doing the driving. So he will be in the driver's side. So what you can do with him is put him in the seat, and you can have him hold the little handles down there, but be very careful. These handles aren't movable. They're stuck in this stationary position. I don't know how firm they are, so if you push on them too hard or try to bend them out of place, they may break on you, and that would suck. And then you could have him holding the little white gauge there, or the gear shifter, or whatever this silver troll here is in the middle. So yeah, that is really neat. Okay, let's give him a passenger. And a good co-pilot for Panther would be the Lord of the Thundercats himself. And as you can see, Lino fits really nice down in the passenger compartment here. Now, a lot of people would ask, okay, so how do you sit them in there? Do you want to bend their knees and, you know, sit them in there like normal? I find the best way to stick them in there to use up all the space that you can is to just put the legs out straight and just sit them in there without the knees being bent. And you get a little more room, and they can get really far down in the seat. So that is really neat. So I really like the way that these two look inside the Thundertank, and that is cool. Okay, now let's see how the back fills up. When it comes to the back compartment, as you can see, all the adult Thundercats can sit very comfortably, even in the back seats with Lino back there, but I think you'll have a better time putting the Thunder Kittens back there, or the ladies. Panthro looks alright sitting where he is. Now the only one that I think I had a little trouble with was Tigra, and I think it's just because his knees wouldn't bend. And when it comes to these seats, you kind of want to have him with the knees bent. It doesn't really matter in the front compartment, but this looks a lot better with their knees bent and such. All right, that is the back compartment. So all the seats do work. Moving on. And there's one more feature that we want to take a look at. And to do that, we are going to need to turn off the lights. moving out. They don't have electronics on here, but the eyes on the tank are supposed to be able to glow. So, Queen Bravo, if you would turn off the lights. Oh, look at that. Wow, that is cool. They do have a little bit of glow. How about bringing up the lights just a little bit? Just a little bit. Yeah, that is really nice. You can actually see that looks real good with the partial light. And I don't know, I think I still would have liked electronics in there, especially for 450 bucks. But oh well, this is what we got, and it does look kind of cool. All right, moving on. And for accessories, the Thundertank comes with a container of Thundrillium, and this is the substance that the Thundercats need to power their vehicles, their cat's lair, and their devices. Or you could actually use this as like a vat of gold. There was this one time they needed gold, so they were able to find a whole bunch of it. So anyway, it's nice, it's large, it comes in a nice container, and if you're so inclined, you can come over to the Thundertank, lift open this massive jaw, and put it in here to carry it around, or it's storage for your Thundrillium. Alright, moving on. And that brings us to the illustrious semiflange. And if you're asking yourself, what's a semiflange? Then don't worry. Everybody who's ever watched Thundercats wants to know what a semiflange is. Because it was only mentioned one time in one episode, and even in that instance, it didn't make a lot of sense. But that being said, the semiflange here appears to be a cool looking tool. It is nicely done with some nice silver up here and some color, some yellow and reds and some blacks. Looks very helpful for whatever it's supposed to do. Nice caution strip here, nice red band down at the bottom. On the back side, you just got some nice silver, and you can see kind of it. I don't know, it's supposed to do something. But anyway, that is the semiflange, I suppose. If you want to know the truth about it, then you can look for the Thundercats outtakes, but be warned, it is kind of an adult thing, but it is funny. All right, moving on. And for comparison, here you have the Thundertank with the Ecto-1, the original Ecto-1. So the scale on this isn't going to be the same because the figures that were for the Ecto-1 here were smaller than that were going to go into the Thundertank. But it's a vehicle, it's what I had, so I thought it would be a neat comparison to show. Alright, moving on. And for comparison, here you have the Thundertank with the Underground Arsenal Turtle Van. And the vehicles fit the same scaled figures, but obviously their Thundertank is going to be bigger than the Turtle Van, but of course it's a tank as opposed to a passenger van. So I don't know, it's alright comparatively. So yeah, I think this is pretty much the only thing that we have in the market that will scale with a Thundertank at this point. Moving on. And for comparison, here you have the Thundertank with the Roboson self-transforming Optimus Prime. And this is a really cool comparison. Obviously, Prime is smaller than the Thundertank, but I think he still comes up in stature to it really nicely. If the scale was for regular humans, Thundertank obviously a little bigger. I think maybe it is off a little bit, but you know, we'll see about that. Hey, Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
Transform. Ah-ha-ha. Oh, Thundertank, let's see what happens now. Bash it, Prime. No, don't bash it, Prime. But I still love seeing that. All right. And that is going to be our final comparison for the night. Moving on. And this has been the Super 7 Thundercats Ultimate Thundertank, a masterpiece over 3 years in the making. Now, you can argue that from the day of pre-order to the day that it arrived, it had been approximately 2 years, but I maintain that they were dropping hints about having a Thundertank a year before they even put it into production. So, yeah, this is an awesome toy. This has everything that the original LGN Thundertank had, plus more, and it should, because it's made for the adult collector and it's made for the upscale Thundercats, so you can get more Thundercats in this tank, and it looks great. It looks like the cartoon version of the Thundertank, and the functionality of this tank is just superb. I love how the claws go up. I love how they can move up to reveal the hidden guns. I love how the mouth opens. I love the light up eyes. I love the hidden cannon in the middle of the hood. The back compartment, very nicely done. I was a bit concerned, but you saw how it fit all the adult Thundercats in there. You have a gunner that can be posted on the 3-barrel cannon. I was slightly disappointed when I found out that the cannon couldn't be removed from the back, but all in all, it doesn't bother me that much. You can still put the figures in there without too much obstruction. The treads were a nice deal. I love that they are starting to roll more freely now. It will take some time to get those working. The back, it did have some areas where it looked like it could open up, but it's just a solid piece, so not too bad there. So all in all, I really loved playing with this thing, but there was some downsides to it too. It's huge, so it's gonna be a space killer, and it was $450, and it seems like for $450 you could put in some electronics or some real lights that worked instead of the glow-in-the-dark kind. But hey, it is what it is, and this is what we got, and I'm pretty happy with it. So if you're looking for this thing, you can find it at your online retailers. Now, when it went up for pre-order back in the day, it was $450. I'm pretty sure you're going to have to pay a lot more than that for it now, maybe $500, $600, $700. But if you've been watching the reviews and this is something you have to have, good luck finding it at a decent price. All right, guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, keep playing.